Hi. I've decided that I'm going to call this series where we kind of unravel concepts of previous work, the Archive Remastered series. I think that that's pretty cool. Puma has a series of sneakers that come out that way, and I love them. And I think it's just a perfect little logo. So we're going to steal that a little bit and we're going to keep going. Today in this video we're going to pick a new one, so let me see what I can come up with. Okay, this one I think I named Smiley, Frown. This one I actually did create about 3 years ago, and I did a little bit of rework recently, but I believe that this one was inspired by some conversations that I had. So at the time I was engaged, and my partner and I were talking about just healing in general, and about kind of the comments that people will make to you when they can tell that you, how do I say that? We specifically were talking about when somebody knows that you need to heal. And so he was kind of making some retorts about, like everybody says that, like, you know, you're so angry, like, you really need to work on that. You have a lot of hate in your heart. And I think, like, those comments to me were able to kind of initiate a spark of the comments that I was raised with. And I guess it's more about, like, these little retorts that are taught to you or said to you as you are trying to live throughout this process of life, throughout this process where you don't feel supported, throughout this process where things are not okay for you. And so specifically for me, that was a lot of, like, you're so sensitive, you're so dramatic, like, you always have to cry. And so as you can see, it's not super clear in the picture, but again, all of these, like, little red words, you can see my finger up here, over here, over here. All of these little red words, they're all little phrases like that. So like I mentioned, one of them is like, why are you always so angry, always so sensitive? You have so much hate in your heart. You need to go to therapy. There's a lot of things in there. So that was kind of the base layer. We have this beautiful blue. We have all of these, like, little retorts that are said, and my partner at the time, he was like, boring, like, it was him, like, pushing him off, right? Like I don't want to hear this shit. Like, don't tell me all of these things, like, boring. I don't need to hear you. I don't need to listen to you. And again, like, it just kind of sparked something in me, like, just as a way to be like, actually, it's not that serious. Like, your perception of me just is really not that serious. So we have, like, the boring in white letters. And then down here at the bottom, we have these little figurines. And these figurines are really kind of a tie-in to a previous work that I've done. I think I had pictures of those. We can go back and look at those some other day. But essentially, these figurines are a tie-in to a little, like, sculpture model, I guess, that I did where there was parents and a baby, and they are kind of like this. And so it's this idea of, like, them kind of watching, being present for these things, them responding to this whole, like, kind of scenario. And honestly, to me, sometimes I don't realize how much I have tied into this until I kind of talk back through it. But really, like, these guys were meant to be a general audience, but for me personally, like, it's meant to connect to the viewer in its own way, right? Like, however you are able to perceive these audience members, whether that means them witnessing you having these perceptions, whether these are the people who are saying these things to you, whatever the case may be. For me, it was people in my life responding to this. And what's interesting is, like, that both of these responses would have been my parents. It would have been like, what the hell is going on with you? And this person just not doing anything about it. and just watching it happen. And then we have this, it's iodine, actually, is what it is. And she's fluttered and splattered all over the place. There's a painted on Smiley. And so it's like trying to resemble the fact that even though all of these things, again, are going on, we have all of these retorts, we have this initial internal response of like, fuck you, like, I don't want to listen to this. There's also still okay, fine, I am going to shuffle myself around and stifle my own emotions down in me and paint on this fucking smile. But I just want you to realize it's going to be messy, it's going to be present, it's going to be all over the fucking place, and it's not going to look pretty. Like, this is me doing something because I feel like I have to, not because I want to, not because this is really how I feel. And the backlash of that is all of this, like, messy, to me it almost looks like blood, like it's the staining, it's the marking, it's all of the like ripple effect of how that is going to be portrayed. And to me that ties into a couple of things. And the first thing is the systems theory in social work. We have micro, meso, macro, and so it's essentially that we have small, medium, and large systems in which if one thing changes in one system, everything changes, right? Like there's going to be a ripple in a pond, it's going to hit every single thing. And so those marks are going to hit every single thing. And this was really made in a time when I was processing not only those things, but then also my family's reaction to how I chose to process. Like, I took a lot of distance. I had moved out of state, not super far away. I was 6 hours away, but it was 6 hours that I had never had before. And it was me not really talking to my brothers that much. It was me not really talking to my dad that much. At some point, it was me not talking to my mom a whole lot. And then that changed. And so it was just like a lot of interesting response to the fact that, like, my dad was in my ear, like, you're the one who moved away, like, you need to talk to your brothers, me not knowing what to say to them, me not knowing how to connect with them. When I did talk with them, you know, I was so immersed in this healing process and, like, feeling the real feelings of, like, I'm angry at my dad, I'm angry at the way that I grew up. I'm angry that nobody was there for me. I'm angry that nobody else saw it. I'm angry that nobody thinks it's important except for me. And my brother's kind of being like, that's just dad, you know, like I think you're making a bigger deal of it than what it was. And, that wasn't okay with me. And so I had to kind of really isolate and separate myself for a while so that I could kind of come back to terms with what I knew to be true and how to heal from there. And so it is the ripple effect then of, like, you being upset and angry with the staining, right? With the fact that this mark was made on me and it has created this backlash in my life, and I'm finally at a point where I'm able to acknowledge it instead of just shut it down. And your response is that I'm the one who's doing the backlash, right? So anyway, just kind of some interesting things. And then on top, we've got our green, I don't know, I think about like a queasy face, like and essentially it's just an overall comprehensive feel, like those two things together, right? This iodine solution, this forced smile, this retort feeling, all of those things together, here I am. Like, this is the face that I have when all of those things are combined. This is the face that I have when I come to terms that there is duality in those things, and this is me standing in the middle of them. So that's this one unwrapped. She's cool. She's interesting. If you like her, let me know. Everything's for sale. Please DM.